Tonight, U.S. Defense Secretary Ashton Carter expressed growing concern about the reach of ISIS on social media. A new report by the House Homeland Security Committee shows more than 250 Americans have joined or tried to join ISIS, and a quarter of them were from Minnesota. Experts say homegrown extremists are a growing concern in the U.S.
And News Channel 3's Lauren Springer takes a look at the threat in her special report, Hometown Terror.
As Americans, we've all seen and been scarred by terrorism here in the United States. The government changing its approach to security in the wake of the September 11th attacks to make sure it never happens again. However, the threat is continuing to increase here in the United States and across the globe, leaving us wanting to know, are these threats a problem right here in Michigan?
I love people here. We love USA.
For Haider al-Sayadi, this mosque is where he goes for safety and comfort, as well as conversations of home.
We talk about reality, what's really going on in the Middle East, what's going on in Syria and Yemen and all those, because it's concerned us as Arabs, as Muslims.
Despite leaving the Middle East nearly 20 years ago as a refugee, there is still a lingering sense of concern, even here in his safe haven.
I was thinking somebody going to come and just bomb the whole thing with 300 people here.
Like what happened in Paris, al-Sayadi's underlying fear, extremists.
We believe ISIS everywhere. ISIS is not like people has a stamp. No, ISIS is ideology. People get moved by some ideas.
While al-Sayadi admits this congregation is likely not what extremists are after, ISIS, ISIL, and other groups are targeting those vulnerable. Teens, inmates, orphans. It fits the mold of some of the suspected linked to Friday's bombing in Paris, recruited largely through the use of social media sites with direct messaging.
Counterterrorism today, since September 11th, is the #1 issue we need to be very vigilant about.
For the FBI, counterterrorism has been front and center for more than a decade. The agency responding and watching for threats around the clock to prevent foreign terror from striking here in the U.S.
What we have found with ISIL and ISIS is very, very adept and very, very polished use of the internet. They're using social media sites to come up with, very flashy journalism, very flashy media to try and attract people to extremist views.
To date, more than 250 Americans have flown to Syria to join the movement. But even more alarming, those extremists are recruiting them to commit terror acts here in the United States.
It's these people who are susceptible, be it because they're down and out economically or, they have some sorts of other issues in their life and they're looking for something to inspire them again.
Complex questions, right?
At Kalamazoo College, students are working to widen West Michigan's view, aware that Islam is taking center stage, now warning of stereotypes.
There are a lot of ways that terrorism doesn't fit the stereotype that we're often told.
These college seniors, hopeful ongoing conversations will raise awareness in a generation where terror threats are nearly a daily occurrence.
All terrorists aren't Middle Eastern men that are Muslim. Terrorists can be Christian, terrorists can be women, terrorists can be white.
The good news, right now the threat here in Michigan low. In the past, ISIS has vowed to attack the U.S., mentioning 5 states, including Michigan. Gelio says a diverse background in the state and an ongoing dialogue keeps people talking and reporting.
I don't think there's undue cause for alarm. There's certainly people in the state of Michigan who have connectivity with regions of the world that have terrorist groups and extremist views. But sometimes that serves our purposes because they come forward.
People like al-Sayadi say they're constantly watching for warning signs.
There's no way somebody come here and recruit. Because if they open their mouth with even a small support or any way belong to ISIS, we won't tolerate it. We will report it.
And despite lingering concern, the refugee has never felt safer. Grateful to call Michigan and Kalamazoo home.
But until I get on American soil, and I was like, thank God, I am safe. Because there is a right for a human here. There is a human right. People will fight for you.
The FBI says it's important to report any concern of terrorism here in the United States. We do have a list of resources posted on our website. That's WWMT.com. In studio, Lauren Springer, News Channel 3.